Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain, back for some more Dungeons & Dragons Online. So for this quest here, we are back in Evening Star, kind of the northeastern section across the bridge, to continue our Stormhorn's chain. So the next quest here is bestowed by Renton Finn, and it is a break in the ice. Now, typically when you are doing this chain, you would have picked up all of them, including break in the ice, and just done them all, as they all kind of go down a path. So you would start off with the right, hitting the left, and just work your way up the mountain, kind of all the way through again, and then all the way up here. However, because we've already gone through and collected the waypoint markers, we are just going to port to them, that way you can see where they are from those locations there. So for this one here, we do want to again head to the north camp. Now from here, we will be running right past breaking the ranks, which is the last quest that we had done. So again, if you were doing them all in order, you could have just, or rather if you had picked them all up, you could have just done breaking the ranks from there, heading straight to the next quest. Alright, so here is breaking the ranks. So from this location, we just want to head south and kind of follow the road here. Oh, and we got a rare. So let's take him out. Now the rare encounters can drop some of the prismatic cloaks. Again, its effect is based on what color the cloak is, though I don't recommend re-rolling the random loot chests, as totally not worth it here. Alright, so we're gonna just continue up the road and basically head straight to the quest. So again, most of these quests are right along the road, just it's a very long road, which is why we took the time to do a video just to show you where those markers are. Yeah, I still remember the first time running these content back when those markers didn't work. This was before the use of horses. It would take about 10 minutes to run up here, so it's not worth that run. So I'm so glad that the markers are now here. So our quest is right here in the giant hole, which is a break in the ice. So now this one here is another one of my favorite ones to do, specifically for one part. Later on in the quest, kind of like the second half of it, we actually got to gear up the frost giant, collecting various parts of his armor. Alright, so as soon as we head in, we're going to just head up the ramp a little bit, and then just immediately make a U-turn and head across. Now in here, it's very linear, though as you can tell, the map really isn't the greatest, as it does show that we can go this way, and that's just because there are multiple layers to this map. So you do gotta be careful, and it is, again, linear quest, but don't rely on the map, as it still may get you lost. So as we get through this first group of guys, and a little bit of lag, we're gonna continue north, and just keep killing. Now, there are a few locations where you're gonna just see large groups of breakables. That's pretty much how the breakables are located in this quest. It's not really kind of the one-off that you normally see. Rather, 7 and then none for a long time, and then 12 and then none for a long time. Alright, so through the camp, we're just going to continue following the cavern.
As the path winds deeper into the glacier, the
right up until we come across this door here. Now in here, oh, it's not this one yet. Sorry about that. So yeah, in here we do have some water. There really is nothing in the water there. And we just want to kill, head across, and then head up the ramps here. Getting ahead of myself, I'm thinking about the next quest yet. Alright, so our next group of breakables here. You also notice across our bridge we do have our next wave of enemies as well. And our next wave of lag. Alright. So now we want to continue across the bridge. And just follow our path. Off to the east.
The path ahead is wide and elegantly carved.
Alright, so a little bit further again, some more enemies, nothing really major. Unless of course you get hit with that lag monster that Didi was also known for. And again, just continue into the cave. Again, it's very linear, very one direction at this point. Alright. So at this point, it does give us a nice little shrine, and then we're going to continue through. This is going to be our first little room. Now there is kind of a nice little cheaty spot that you can actually get to if you have enough jump, and that's up right here. So you can hop on the rock and then actually hop on the ledge here. Now if you dare to try enough, you can actually run off the edge and jump up here to where Tharno is, and actually fight from up here. So now that that's done here, the fight starts when you actually go and approach the gate. He's gonna slam the gate shut and basically be like, hey, what's going on? And it's gonna start kind of an arena style fight. Now the bonus of fighting from these platforms here is the enemies really don't know how to get to you. They can't melee or anything, so they will pile underneath, but if you happen to have just one guy down below, they can get the aggro and kill off those guys there. Now as you see, they spawn up there, they just run right past Z-Bub. So if you have a squishy caster with a lot of jump, definitely head on up there. It's a lot nice. Now in Epic, on the very top ledge, you'll also have some giants just throwing stones, but you can actually fight those giants there as well. Use range damage. However, even if you don't have range damage, there really isn't much. There's like 4 giants, so it really doesn't contribute too much to getting those overall kills. And then once the waves are completed, and he sends through, and he kind of mentions that, oh, well, I'll send you through the gate. As you are running towards the gate, across the ice, it will break. Here we go. Now, even if you are already over there, there really isn't nothing there. It's just kind of a trick, a ploy. You do need to break the door and head on down. From here, we're going to head east and circle up north. Now, this is the second part that I was mentioning earlier, where we're now going to have to start finding armor for a lovely little frost giant. So you're going to make your way, seeing the giant orb, and then just continue down our path, which is up here. So it's a bit of running, but there really isn't any fighting. And here we go. Now at this point, we want to talk to Rungnir. And he's going to send us a path down here to the east. Now this is where it's less linear. So the first part here is right along our path, which is his axe grip. And then you can head across the bridge here through the lever. And it appears that there's only one path leading off to the right. However, actually going straight ahead here, it is a secret door leading deeper north. And as you can see, a whole lot of winter wolves. Now this is the path I typically take when I am going to collect all the pieces. As he asked you to first collect 5 and then a few additional ones. So we have one right here. So heading forward in this part of the cave with all these winter wolves. Which is his Gambison. And then again, secret door here leading to the rest of the quest. And right here we have his Bernie. Now, directly to the left of that, right here, we have another little camp, so we can actually head inside here. And we have an optional to negotiate with this guy right here. So you do just gotta wait a moment for his speech to end and for him to become targetable. At that point we can bluff, intimidate, or perform if you have high enough to get through. So if you succeed, he's just like, yep, take him, we don't want to fight, we're not dealing with the giant. And he'll drop his guard brace. Now from here we do want to head left. And just circle down the path here, which will bring my favorite beast to grab, which is his beard brace, because what's a giant without armor for his beard? Alright, so from here we do want to head immediately around, and we're going to have tucked away his helm horns. Now at this point, that is the last required piece that we need. However, as you'll notice, once we complete this, it gives us an optional to get the rest. So from here, we do want to head back upstairs. And we're just going to go all the way up. And we're going to come across his placard. Alright, so we just got a few winter wolves here to deal with. As I'm sure you guys can see. And then we can grab the placard. Now at this point, we do want to again head north. Hopping down. And just heading in the path. Now we can head off to the right, but again, we want to head left.
Heavy ice
And we'll come across the elementals. Now, as you are fighting the named elemental, these guys around the edge are going to eventually get up, or they should be getting up. There we go. A little too late though. And on his the named guy's death, it does drop the piece right there, which is his loincloth stays. Kind of don't want to pick that one up, but it's for the op. Now at this point, again, we want to continue with the hugging of the left wall. And we're going to come to this point here. Now here we have a locked lever. You see the chain there. Unlock that, we can head on inside with our next part here is Spalder. Now at this point here, we are almost done. As you can see, there's the kind of our path. But we do have two more pieces. So we have one down there, which is his straps. But before we hop, we got his cross garters right here. And then finally grab that. As you see, a nice chunk of experience, almost 3,000 for that optional. From here, we're just going to want to circle off to the west and kind of meet up with this path here, heading off again further west, right down here. And this will lead us right back to where we had originally started before heading north and dealing with those winter wolves. So again, left, and we got to talk to Rungnir. Now, I do want to point out at the very end of this quest, you do end up fighting Rungnir. Now, it doesn't matter whether or not you do pick up all the extra pieces, it doesn't actually make him any more difficult. So don't feel like you don't want to pick up and lose out on the optional because it makes him tougher. It really doesn't. He is just as tanky and has just as much hit points regardless. So once you talk to him here, he does drop down the bridge and he heads off to the right. Now we actually can't go down that path, rather we need to head off to the left, hopping down the hole here. Here we have a shrine, again if you need, and we want to proceed into the end fight room. Now again in here, we have a whole bunch of breakables, both on the lower and at the top here as well, which will give us enough for our ransack. Now, if you happen to have a high jump skill and a very good hand-eye coordination and not dealing with lag, you can actually hop down and land right on this tip of the spire here, and it is a nice little out of melee range location. You also notice we have some breakables just back there. Now, what makes this spot a little difficult to hit enemies is, as you see with my arrows, they're hitting them there. So the first part, we actually want to fight caster. Just kind of inching my way forward. There we go. And of course he went there. And I fell off. But yeah, so that's that spot. It's really handy for when you do have to fight the caster. Or when you do gotta fight the giant. Basically, he's like, caster's done. Now I want you to leave. Go away. Because he is melee, he comes right up to you. So there we go. And as you can see, he can't actually hit us here, but we can still hit him provisionally. And you just want to take him. So we're just going to hop down here and make it a little bit easier. As it is only heroic elite, it's not too terrible. Now once he dies, he does complete the quest, 32,000, and provides us with a couple of nice extra little chests. Now you get these chests extra if you did decide to do the optional and get the extra. So there are a few named items. There's also the frostbite blade here, which is a nice little scimitar. And there was those Master Illusionist gloves. Now again, you can get prismatic robes in these. They can basically drop from any quest out here in Stormhearts. Now, once you are done with this quest, if this was the last of the main ones you had to do, you do want to recall all the way back to town and turn them all in. Once you've done that, then you can actually pick up the final part, which is what goes up. And yeah, it's a tough one, but you get to see that in the next video. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been a blast, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one all.